What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Code, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be all about the Manchester City not transfer ban, but UEFA Champions League ban. So if you guys like the topic and you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, comment below. Let's get started. So Man City have been banned from the UEFA Champions League for 2 seasons for violating financial fair play rules, misguiding information, and all of this stuff. It's been for 2 years. They've also been fined $30 million or 30 million euros. And this is big. This is big news. And for Pep Guardiola now, and Manchester City, they're going to be 2 years without European competition. What is that going to do for their players, man? Pep Guardiola, obviously, this has been rumored for a long time, really, for years now, that this financial fair play... they broke financial fair play rules. They were going to get a Champions League ban and all these rumors, but Manchester City didn't really come out and say that like this was going to happen. They kind of denied it, but now it's happened. UEFA have confirmed it. 2 seasons with no Champions League football. That's big stuff for a team as good as Man City. So now I'm wondering what's going to happen to these players. What are these players going to do now? Is this the end of Man City? If you think about it, 2 years with no Champions League, surely the players are going to think to themselves, I think I need to leave because there's no way I'm not going to be playing in the Champions League if I'm a Manchester City player. But they have win now mentalities. And I think that's what's going to cost them in the end. They have winning mentalities, but now their mentality is going to be set on, I need to win the Champions League. Like the Premier League is all fine and good, but Manchester City and their players want the Champions League. They haven't won the Champions League with Pep Guardiola. So this season, I'm not sure if they're banned from this season because they are in the Champions League. But I believe next season, that's when they're going to be banned. So this is the only chance that they have to win the Champions League. And if they can't do it, what's going to happen to those players? The likes of Aguero and Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling, Otamendi, Laporte, all these fantastic players that they have. How many of them are going to leave because of this ban? Because 2 years is a long time to wait to go back into a Champions League contention. Are those players willing to wait for 2 years to just to be in the Champions League, let alone win it? And I don't think a lot of those players with their mentality would want to wait. Why would they want to wait? Why would they wait for Manchester City to get out of a transfer ban? I think this has all come back to bite Man City in the arse, really, because they bought all these amazing players that was pretty much built for the Premier League and the Champions League. Their squad depth is so good, they can easily... not easily, but they can win both of them in the same season. That's what their team was built and designed for, and Pep Guardiola had the tools to do it. Now, they've won 2 Premier Leagues. They've won a Premier League by a mile. They destroyed the competition in the first year they won the Premier League. But it's not been good enough for a Champions League, and now they're not going to have a shot at it for 2 years. So if this is the final season and they win the Champions League, I think a lot of the players will stay because they've done it. They've won the Champions League. They don't need to prove anything anymore. Of course, they're going to want to win it again, but I think it might have less of an impact. If they don't win the Champions League this year, what's going to happen to those players that came here to win and now they're not going to have the opportunity to win? I think Man City are in big trouble here. I might be blowing this out of proportion, but a lot of those players might not want to stay because of this transfer ban. Not this transfer ban, this Champions League ban. So I just made a video about Chelsea, so that's why I'm saying transfer ban and all that. I'm shocked. I'm actually stunned that this has happened. I've never... this just came out of the blue. Now, what does this do for Pep Guardiola now? Like, are we talking about the players? Does Pep want to stay for 2 years more to just fight for the Premier League? There's been rumours that Pep Guardiola will go to Juventus. That's going to look extremely possible now. And where does that leave Man City at the end? Because if Pep Guardiola goes and a bunch of those players go, the Man City rise to stardom is not going to last very long because those players are going to leave, Pep's going to leave, Man City have to rebuild again. And they're going to have the funds to do it. but they're not going to have Champions League for 2 years. So that's 2 years of Man City, people not wanting to go to Man City for transfers because they're not going to be in the Champions League. They're not even going to. They might be. I don't know. I don't think they. I think they're banned from the Europa League as well. So they have no European football. That's extremely. It's a harsh ruling, especially with the 30 million on top. But it's a ruling nevertheless that it's fair because they broke the rules. You need to. It's with any line of work. If you break the rules, you get punished. It's a harsh punishment, but a lot harsh punishments are what needs to be done. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the Premier League says because the financial fair play is also broken in the Premier League. If you think about it, it's not just UEFA. So Premier League might have something to say as well. But I think just let alone, that's a very strict punishment. It's a very harsh punishment, but it's a well-deserved punishment in my opinion. Yeah, what's Pep Guardiola going to do? Is he going to go to Juventus now? Are those players going to leave to go get Champions League football? What's going to happen? I did not expect this today, really. This was a stunning turn of events, but I can't say that they don't deserve it. I mean, we make memes about Manchester City spending money left, right, and centre. Oh, yeah, we'll spend $1 billion on this player. Oh, no worries. If we sucks, we spend $1 billion on another player. And we keep going. We're Man City. We have money for days. But it turns out you can still break the rules no matter how much money you have. Yeah, it's interesting. Now, where does this leave teams fighting for top four, like Sheffield and Wolves and Man United and all these teams? Does fifth mean that the Champions League is available for fifth spot? And if it is, Man United need to go and get that shit real quick, man. Go and get that fifth spot because we've got an opportunity now to make the Champions League. Now, I'm not happy that Man City got this ban because this is just a way for Man United to, by hook or by crook, make the Champions League when they don't deserve to. And I think we should definitely still be going for top four. If we settle for fifth, we are really, truly mediocre because the fifth position is going to give us the Champions League, most likely. And yes, it's good that we're making the Champions League, but it's bad the way we did it. And if we do it, because there's still a chance that we're going to finish sixth, that we don't do it at all. And that's a really strong possibility. But we have to go for that now. We have to go for fifth as well. It's not just fourth anymore. And that's sad because I want to be fourth. I want to be in the top three. I want to be in Premier League contention, but we're just not. So by hook or by crook, we have to make the Champions League. That's the biggest indication for Man United. That's what Man City have gifted us and gifted Sheffield and gifted Wolves, a chance to be in the Champions League. Who's going to take that opportunity? I hope it's Man United because we don't deserve it. We need to be in the Champions League. We're a big club that's falling. And for us to have a better chance to rebuild, we need the Champions League. We might not be in contention to win it, but we need it. We need to verse the best of the best. We need to get the money. We need to rebuild. That's the only way we can do it. So, as a Man United fan, this helps us a lot, but it's still not the best way to do it. I'd much rather get top four. I'd much rather win the Europa League. But now we have three venues, three areas where we can go and get the Champions League. Top four, fifth, or the Europa League. But let's see what happens. Now, the reason why fifth is a bit risky is because Man City can appeal this. So if Man City do appeal the decision being made and Man United are fifth and this appeal gets approved, then Man City are back in the Champions League, which drops Man United to the Europa League. So it all depends on when Man City appeal. If they appeal right away, they could probably get a decision by the summer. And if they get the decision by the summer, then we're fifth, then we're down to the Europa League. So fifth is risky, but we're going to be in the Champions League most likely because appeals are usually not approved in many sports. Chelsea's one got approved, but it hasn't been good. Many stories of appeals getting approved by FIFA or by whoever makes those decisions. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. Man City fans, the two of you that are watching, I'm sorry. I'm sure you saw this coming because there's been rumors about this for a long time. But I want to know your guys, Man City fans. Let me know your opinion. Anybody, I want to hear your opinion about this ban. Is it rightfully deserved? Is the penalty harsh? What's going to happen with the fifth position? Is Champions League available now for the fifth spot? Or will Man City appeal this decision? There's so many questions to ask. What's going to happen with Pep Guardiola? What's going to happen to a lot of these players? Let's see. This is an interesting time. As a Man City fan, I would be worried because this news is worrying. No Champions League. I think that's the least of your worries at the moment with if you're going to get rid of a lot of players. But Man City do have funds to rebuild, and they probably will not give up on Man City, the owners. So they will rebuild. Man City have to rebuild, and they will do it, and they'll do it efficiently. I'm 100% positive on that retrospect. It's 100% going to happen. But this is bad news for them because now the rebuild process is going to take at least 3 years now because 2 years of it is going to be suspended from the Champions League. Who's going to want to come to a team unless it's money based only? If Man City just starts splashing the cash the way the Man United do, who's going to want to come to Man City now? It's going to be interesting. Let me know what you guys think. This is the Sports Code. Take care and peace.